Well, a lot of that game was really, really fun in the first half, and then not so much in the second half. Northwestern finally drops one after a second half collapse. Let's talk about it.
You are Locked On Northwestern, your daily podcast on the Northwestern Wildcats, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, everybody, and welcome in. This is Locked On Northwestern, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. I'm your host, Carter Bird, and thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every single day. We really appreciate it. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Wherever you're listening, make sure you're subscribed and you turn on notifications so you don't miss an episode. Today's episode coming to you a little bit later. Missed a day or two here with some technical problems, but we are back. And today's episode is brought to you by our friends at FanDuel. This episode is brought to you by the FanDuel Sportsbook, the official sportsbook of Locked On. Make every moment more. Visit fanduel.com/lockedon to get started. All right, let's talk about this Northwestern Illinois game. Northwestern coming in, all the momentum in the world, had won 5 in a row, including wins over Purdue, Indiana, and Iowa, all in a row at home, with a couple road wins at Wisconsin and at Ohio State. On the road at Illinois in this one, an Illinois team that's metrics were pretty good. It's a quad one game for Northwestern coming in. They were able to get the win earlier in the year, the first time out, 73-60 at home. That was a fun game. It was really was. But this time they're on the road and a hostile environment. And you couldn't have asked for a better start. You really could not have, because the way that Northwestern played out the gate was unbelievable. They were hot from three, going 8 of 16 from three in the first half. That includes 5 of 8 by Boo Buie from three in the first half. He goes 8 of 15, 22 points in the first half, 1 of 1 at the line. And you had Chase Audige, 5 points. He hit a 3, 2 of 6 from the field, 3 rebounds, a couple assists. And you got Brooks Barnheiser going a little bit in the first half as well. 7 points, 2 of 5 from the field, 1 of 1 from 3, 2 of 2 at the line. 5 boards in the first half as Northwestern shot 35.1% from the field, but going 8 of 16 from 3 in that first half really allowed them to build a pretty significant lead. They go 3 of 3 at the line. Illinois on the other side, they go 34.6% from the field, 9 of 26 in that first half, 0 of 11 from 3, 1 of 4 at the free throw line, just 25%. As their leading scorer, well, it was 3 different guys. You had Hawkins, Shannon, and Rogers, all with 4 points. Nobody else had more than that, as Illinois was able to just scratch out 19 points in the first half. Northwestern did a good job on the offensive glass, getting 7 offensive rebounds, leading to 8 second chance points. I mean, it really was. They also flustered Illinois early. Northwestern only had 3 turnovers. Well, Illinois had 10 in the first half, 6 of those coming off steals for Northwestern. It really was a dominant first half, kind of like we saw. We saw against Iowa, kind of like we saw against Indiana. Then you look at the second half, and things didn't go quite as well. As you see, Boo Buie still goes and gets 13 points in the second half, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 3 from 3, 4 of 5 at the free throw line, 3 rebounds. Not a lot else went on for Northwestern. Brooks Barnheiser had 4 points, 2 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from 3. He grabbed another rebound in that second half. Ty Berry, 1 of 3 from the field, 4 boards, couple turnovers. Chase Audige, 1 of 8 in the second half, 2 points, 3 turnovers. And I mean, outside of Boo Buie's 13 and Brooks Bonheiser's 4 points, you get 8 total points by the rest of the team in the second half. Robbie Barron takes just 1 shot. Nicholson takes 0 shots from the field. He goes 2 of 4 at the free throw line. Martinelli didn't really get in the second half, so you didn't see him as much. But it just was a really, really odd game in the second half. It felt like nobody got going. It was just Boo Buie out there by himself. And, I mean, he can only take a team so far, because when you look at the numbers, I mean, you're 34.6% in the second half, 9 of 26 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3, 6 of 9 at the free throw line, 4 of 5 for Boo Buie. So he had 4 of the 6 makes for the team, with the other 2 of 4 coming from Matthew Nicholson. Now, when you turn your attention to Illinois got after Northwestern in the second half. You had Matt Mayer. He had 14 points, 2 of 3 from the field, 2 of 3 from 3, 8 of 8 at the free throw line, because Northwestern, for some reason, kept fouling him when he shot 3-point shots. That was brutal. Just great way for Illinois to come back in the game. 5 rebounds, 1 assist. He did have 4 turnovers in the second half, which was it was a lot. But when you look at up and down the rest of the Illinois roster, Terrence Shannon Jr., he was the reason Illinois won this game. He was the reason for the comeback in the second half. 24 points. He goes 7 of 8 in the second half. 4 of 4 from 3, 6 of 9 at the free throw line, as he dropped 24 in the second half. Illinois as a team goes 13 of 24, 7 of those makes coming from Terrence Shannon in the second half. 54.2% as a team, 7 of 13 from 3 after going 0 for 11 from 3 in the first half. They go 53.8% from 3 in the second half, 14 of 17 at the free throw line. So the free throw disparity, it's not crazy drastic, 21-12, but it goes to the home team for the second time in this series this year. But you have Terrence Shannon has 26 points for the game, 24 of those coming in the second half, as you saw Illinois erase an 18-point deficit in the first half, at 37-19 deficit at the half, and they come back in the second half, outscore Northwestern 47-25 to take a 66-62 win for the game. They shot better from the field than Northwestern. Northwestern was 35%, 22 of 63. Illinois was 22 of 50 for 44%. They were worse from 3 because Northwestern was 9 of 21. They were 7 of 24, Northwestern being 43%, Illinois being 29%. But the difference is they got to the free throw line, and they went 15 of 21 at the free throw line, while Northwestern went 9 of 12. They won the battle on the boards 40-31. They grabbed 30 defensive rebounds. They got bench production that Northwestern didn't get, because Terrence Shannon, he had 26 off the bench. He was coming off, I think he missed a couple games due to a concussion, if I recall correctly. But it was in the second half, they protected the basketball better than Northwestern. They rebounded better, and they shot better, and they chipped away. And I really, when you talk about this, we're going to talk about it here in a second, just because it's crazy what you got out of one guy, and it's disappointing what you got out of the rest of the squad for Northwestern. We're going to talk about that here in just 1 second. But first, let's talk about our friends from FanDuel. The midway point of the NBA season is here, and now is the perfect time to download FanDuel, America's #1 sports book, because new customers Get a no sweat first bet up to $1,000. That's bonus bets back if your first bet doesn't win. Just download the FanDuel Sportsbook app. It's safe, secure, and super easy to use. Then you can bet on everything from the money line to point scores and threes drained. It's a great time to get involved because the NBA is going to continue to pick up steam. It's going to become more and more of a talking point as the season, second half of the season really gets rolling, and college basketball is getting close to postseason play, which is March Madness. What a great time of year. And then, of course, golf is starting to pick up. The majors are starting to show up. I think Live Golf is back in action as of today. All of that is coming back into play. Major League Baseball just around the corner. Great time to get involved with FanDuel. Plus, FanDuel lets you combine your bets for a chance at a bigger payout with a same game parlay. So don't miss the chance to get your no sweat first bet up to $1,000 in bonus bets when you go to FanDuel.com/lockedon. That's FanDuel.com/lockedon to learn more. Make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sports betting partner of the NBA. Also, thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every day. Make sure you check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Everything you need to know about college basketball in one place. Plus, hear from big name experts, insiders, coaches, and players. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. All right, let's talk about it, because what you got out of one individual for this Northwestern team was so spectacular. Boo Buie has taken his game to a different level. He is the best point guard in the Big Ten. He might be the best guard in the Big Ten. He's unbelievable. The way he started this game, he went 8 of 15 in the first half, 5 of 8 from 3, 1 of 1 at the line. And then for the game, he goes 12 of 24, 6 of 11 from 3, 5 of 6 at the free throw line. 3 rebounds, didn't have any assists. We'll get into why in a little bit. Did have 3 turnovers, but he gives you 35 points. He was just unconscious the entire game, and he just could not miss there for certain stretches of the game. He was clutch. He gave you everything you needed, and it was unbelievable. I mean, really, he took over the game. He outscored Illinois in the first half. It was 22-19. Boo Buie leading Illinois at halftime, and that carried into the second half for a little while. I mean, he still went and got you 35 for the game. He was the highest scorer in the game by 9 points. If you take out Terrence Shannon's just unbelievable second half, I mean, nobody else in the game besides Terrence Shannon and Boo Buie scored more than 14. I mean, it really was a spectacular performance as he has gone to a different level. I mean, I think he's set himself up where a good performance on Sunday, and he's Big Ten Player of the Week again. I mean, it was that special watching his performance in Champaign last night. It was dominant from start to finish. I mean, honestly, I think he ran out of gas because nobody besides Brooks Barnhizer, who is supposed to be, I guess, coming into the year, your 5th, maybe 6th option on this team. Well, Brooks Barnhizer has been really solid recently. He gives you 11 points, 4 of 9 from the field, 1 of 2 from 3, 2 of 2 at the free throw line, 6 rebounds in this game, 1 assist. He's your second leading rebounder behind Ty Berry. He doesn't turn the ball over. He hits some big shots. He hit a big bucket in the second half, just to kind of stem the bleeding for Northwestern, because Illinois was just chewing up ground, closing the gap. Man, like, nobody else showed up in this game. I mean, Chase Audige is going through it right now. He gives you 7 points. He goes 3 of 14 from the field. That's unacceptable. 1 of 3 from 3. He doesn't get to the free throw line. That can't happen. He's too good of a player when his shot is off to not get to the free throw line. He's too strong. He's too athletic. He's got to get to the line. Chase Audige has not been to the line since the Ohio State game. He hasn't been to the line once against Purdue, Indiana, Iowa, and Illinois. 4 straight games. In fact, in the month of February, if you go back to the first Iowa game, from the first Iowa game on January 31st to now, he shot 9 free throws, and he's hit 5 of them. He went 2 of 4 against Michigan and 3 of 5 against Ohio State. He's too good of a player when his shot's not falling to not get to the free throw line. He's got to figure out a way to be more consistent. If you look over his last, I believe it is 8 games, 3 of 14, 1 of 3 from 3, 3 of 7, 1 of 1 from, okay, well, let's just run through the field goals. 3 of 14, 3 of 7, 5 of 16, 6 of 16, 3 of 12, 5 of 13, 4 of 16, 7 of 19. That's 36 for 113, 31.9% from the field. From 3, it's 1 of 3, 1 of 1, 4 of 10, 3 of 12, 3 of 7, 1 of 3, 0 of 7, 1 of 5. 14 of 48, 29.2% from 3. 7 points, 7 points, 14 points, 15 points, 12, 10, 11, 15. He's not efficient right now. He's going through it. I mean, if he gives you an average game, if he gives you 12, you win the game. If he shoots 35, 36% in this game, you win. You're not asking for much from him, I don't feel like. Ty Berry coming off a great game on Sunday. He goes 1 of 8. He has 2 points, 0 of 3 from 3. Does get you 7 rebounds, which I appreciate. If you're going to have an off night, go crash the board, make your presence felt in some other manner. Robbie Barron goes 1 of 2 from 3 in the first half. He plays just 6 minutes in the second half, and he takes 1 shot. So he disappeared on you. Nicholson takes 1 shot for the game. And we've seen how key he's been recently. Titus Verhoeven, somebody who's been a lot better recently. He takes 2 shots, 1 of 2, 2 points. He only grabs you 2 boards. Nicholson only grabs you 5 boards. Both those guys go get you 5 assists or 2 assists each. Verhoeven fouls out, but I mean that's fine. That's kind of his roles. He has to be extra physical, and he fouls a lot because he's an undersized backup 5. Martinelli gave you nothing, 0 of 2. He only played 3 minutes for the game, 1 rebound. I mean, you get nothing. You got 16 points that were not from Boo Buie and Brooks Barnhizer. 16 points. That's it. And I have a tweet about it that I'm about to find right now that paints a picture of just how rough, just how brutal that performance was. Bowie and Barnhizer go 16 of 33 from the field, 7 of 13 from 3, 7 of 8 at the free throw line. The rest of the team goes 6 of 30 from the field, 2 of 8 from 3, 2 of 4 at the free throw line. That's not going to cut it. It's got to be better. That's not good enough. You've got to get something out of the rest of the team. Because Boo Buie ran out of gas because you were asking him to hold the weight of the world on his shoulders. And eventually, that doesn't work. We're going to talk about what this means for Northwestern, where things stand, what they've got coming up here in just 1 second. But first, we want to thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen today. For your second listen, check out our brand new podcast, Locked On College Basketball. Experts Isaac Shade and Andy Patton bring you everything you need to know on and off the court. Plus, hear from big-name experts, coaches, and players throughout the college basketball landscape. Locked On College Basketball, available on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts. All right, so what do we know now? We know that Northwestern is 20-8. You're still in second place in the Big Ten. You're still holding steady there. You're 11-6 in the Big Ten, second place. You're still a game up, I believe, on you're a game up on Indiana. You're a game up on Indiana, Maryland, and Illinois, which is big at this point in time of the year. You have your tiebreaker with Indiana because you swept them. Maryland game coming up, gonna be a big one. Oh, you're also a game up on Michigan. I didn't see them, but yeah, I mean, you're clear right now. You split with Illinois, so I don't recall exactly what the tiebreaker is there, but you're in a good spot. You're still second in the league. You are up to number 42 in the KenPom, number 39 in the net rankings. You're 8-4 in quad 1, 3-4 in quad 2, 1-0 in quad 3, and 8-0 in quad 4. Your final 3 games are at Maryland, who's sitting at number 17 in the KenPom, and I think they're sitting a little bit lower, 23 in the net ranking, so that's another quad 1 game for you. Then you've got Penn State, Penn State sits at 50. Penn State at home sits at 56 in the net rankings, 50 in the KenPom. That is a quad 2 game for you. Then you're on the road at Rutgers, number 33 in the KenPom, and they are definitely in quad 1 status. 37 on the road for Northwestern in that final game. So you got 2 quad 1 games left and you got 1 quad 2 game. Can you go 2-1? Can you go 2-1? I think that should be the goal. I mean, if you sweep it, you're second in the Big Ten, and you've got, I mean, I think you've got second pretty much locked up, because I don't think you're going to see the two more games get lost by Purdue. I mean, I guess they could lose to Indiana this weekend. Who knows? But you're sitting in a really, really good spot. If you just handle your business, you can come away with the 2 seed in the Big Ten tournament, which would exceed every expectation that this season had. When you look at the bracketologies right now, yes, you lose last night. They've both been updated on CBS and ESPN. ESPN's got you as the 6th seed in the Midwest, matched up with the winner of the Dayton game, Oklahoma State and USC, with a 3-14 that you're paired up with, as Marquette, the 3 seed, and Toledo, the 14 seed. Also in your region, you have Indiana as the 5 seed up on the other side, and Rutgers as the 9 seed. A Rutgers team that is, they're not careful, they could play their way out of the NCAA tournament as well. Your 1 seed is Houston. Your 2 seed is Texas. Duke's in here too. Pretty fun little region, I'll be honest with you. I don't feel horrible about that draw for Northwestern. On CBS, Northwestern's the 6 seed drawing the 11 seed USC in the first round in the West, paired up with 3 seed Gonzaga and 14 seed UC Irvine. The 2 seed in this region is Arizona. Indiana is the 5 seed in the other side. Maryland's the 8 seed in the other side. And Kansas is your 1 seed. Liberty, who Northwestern saw earlier this year, is also in that region for CBS. On the Bubble Watch on ESPN, Northwestern's the first team listed in the should be in category for the Big Ten, according to ESPN. I think you feel really good about that at this point in time. Now you're looking at seeding for the Big Ten tournament, in my mind. And look, I mean, you're back in action on Sunday at Maryland. Can you go take one from a team that's pretty daggum good? If you do that, then everything's fine. I mean, the sky's not falling from this game. You were a 5.5-point underdog in this game. You went on the road. You dominated the first half. You ran out of gas. You just didn't get. If you get an average game out of Chase Audige, out of Ty Berry, out of Robbie Barron, out of Matthew Nicholson, if you get an average game out of those guys, you win. You didn't. It is what it is. This Northwestern team is fine. I think they acquitted themselves well on the road in a hostile environment against Illinois. You're back in action against Maryland on Sunday. This can be a fun matchup. If Northwestern can win it, I think you're going to see them potentially move up in the AP poll despite going 1-1, because you're on the road against two good teams in a pretty deep Big Ten. So that's probably going to do it for today's episode. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you for making Locked On Northwestern your first listen every single day. We're available wherever you get podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you can find us. We're also on YouTube. Just search Locked On Northwestern. You can find us there. Wherever you're listening, make sure you're subscribed and you turn on notifications. You don't want to miss an episode as we cover this run to the NCAA tournament for Northwestern. But yeah, I'm your host, Carter Bird. You can follow me on social media at CarterBird13, and I'll see you all next time.